How is that
Sure.
racism to blame for that?
Now, are we going to talk about over-policing?
I'm sorry, sir.
Over-policing.
You're kind of
Would you like to-
demonstrating. You can't answer the question.
Would you like to talk about? I mean, you can talk about it. We can.
Okay.
Are you ready to address it, though?
Well-
are you ready to address it? Are
Yeah.
Because we can talk about black on black crimes, but we need to talk about it as it pertains. Okay, let's talk about it, sis. I'm ready to talk about it.
All right, hold on. So
I'm ready
let
to
me
talk
just
about it.
let me just
I'm ready
narrow
to
this
talk
down.
about it.
You were to rank the 100 biggest problems in America.
Yeah.
The fact that I know we're not a racist country is the best example you have. If we were a racist country, you'd say, Charlie, I can't go in a convenience store. Charlie, I can't go into school. No, we actually live in such amazingly decent country that
Oh,
let's not do that, okay?
you about to fight the people, bro? Like, you about to fight the people? This is crazy. You can't come here and try to fight, bro.
Watching this for some 20 odd years, just. Oh, ma'am, you've been doing it forever. Welcome
Guys,
to the
let
First
me-
Amendment.
just-
I fought
sir,
for it.
can you just
See
stay
this
focused on me?
taxpayer-paid jacket?
Sir,
Thank you. I brought it overseas.
All right, sir, just ask me the question.
So what is it about conservatives and this whole racism thing? Like, you guys are always just saying that it's either not a thing or it's, just not in any of the institutions or the police department. But it seems that over the past 18 years, we've had several race riots. And the biggest one being in 2020. So it's like, how are we still denying segregation in a city where we can clearly see what fucking neighborhoods are white, which ones are black, which ones are Latino, and we know how we got there. So it's like, what is it with conservatives and admitting that there's a problem and not addressing it? Because it seems like you guys want to be obsessed with, the gender thing or the racism thing, and then you guys say, it's not here.
So if you're conservative and watching this, basically, you don't believe that racism exists. That's what he's saying. He's saying that you are just oblivious. You have no idea about the struggles of anyone who's dealt with racism. Obviously, that is not true. Obviously, conservatives, at least what I think, know what racism is. They understand the problems with racism. The conservative belief, from my understanding, is that racism is not the biggest detriment in society. Basically, you have white people in society who are struggling day in and day out, and when they hear about, other races saying, about racism is the reason that I can't afford this, they look at it like, bro, I can't afford that either. They're like, I can't afford it either, bro. We in the same boat. That's the biggest, the biggest thing, I believe. Let me know what y'all believe, though.
It's not a big problem, but why are millions of people rioting every couple years?
So let me ask you a
Because
question.
we can say that it's Democrats
Yeah.
and shit, right?
Well, let me ask you a
okay,
question.
go ahead.
So, what do you think is a bigger problem facing America, single fatherhood or racism?
Racism, by far. That's how
Can you
we
say
got
that?
to-
Say that in the microphone.
Racism, by far, because racism gets people killed, not single fatherhood.
Well, no, a single motherhood. Let me be more specific. So single moms, their fathers leaving the home, you think is a bigger problem than racism?
No, sir. You're gonna have. I'm gonna repeat that one again for you. I think racism is a bigger problem than fathers being outside of the home. However, I do see fathers not being in the home is a problem.
Let's make sure we're defining our terms. How would you define racism then?
Racism is a system of oppression used by a certain group using prejudice, institutional power, and it's situated by the media, government, and all these other
So
institutions.
give me an example of one thing you as a black man cannot do that I as a white man can do in America.
Got you. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, right? I went to a DeSantis rally. Got my ticket, all that good bullshit. Been to a million different, rallies of a kind, whether, I was a conservative at the time or whether I was a liberal, right? I know that as a black person, I am far more likely to be arrested for expressing my view, whether I am a conservative or a liberal. And I've done it on both sides.
I believe that this guy, I'm not going to speculate on his life. The question was, what can you do as a black man? I mean, what can Charlie Kirk do as a white man that you cannot do as a black man? And you basically said that I'm more likely to be arrested if I go to a debate and voice my views. You didn't even answer the question, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you didn't even answer the question because the answer is nothing. There's absolutely nothing that you can't do in modern America that he can do. There is absolutely nothing. Y'all have both the same exact freedoms. And I know you don't want to say it because it doesn't, support your argument. But that's the problem, bro. We more so focus on our arguments rather than the truth. The truth is, you can do exactly what he can do. It's just what it is. Whether or not you're more or less likely to be arrested, that's speculative, bro. That's speculation. But in real life, the world, you can do exactly what he can do in America.
And oh yes, I was arrested.
You were probably being a jerk. That's
oh,
why you were
actually,
arrested,
and
not
that's the
because
best
of
part.
color
And that's
of
the
your
best
skin.
part, right? That's the best part. I wasn't even being a jerk. And the courts even found
so
our beloved courts.
Let me make sure I understand this. So you think the bigger problem than fathers not being in the home is a abstract conspiracy theory that you have that hecklers and jerks at political events are arrested because of the color of their skin? That's the best definition of institutional racism.
No, that's not my definition on racism. I did tell
give me
you
an
what my
example
definition
of something a white man like me can do that a black man like you can't do. Because guess what?
for one-
if I showed
for
up
one-
at a DeSantis event and
sure.
started heckling, I'd
Sure.
be kicked out and arrested.
No, you would not. No, you. In fact,
Well,
I even have evidence.
You know how
of
I
that.
know that's true?
You wanna
Most
know-
of the
wait, do you
hecklers
wanna know
are
how
these
I know it's
white
true?
suburban kids
I have
from
hundreds
Highland
of-
Park, and they're arrested a lot more, actually, when you see the mugshots. Yeah.
Oh, so white kids are arrested a lot more. Could
Well,
that possibly be? Could that possibly be?
talk
And
into
I'm
the
just-
mic?
And I'm just guessing here. Could it possibly be that white people are arrested more because you have a higher population and therefore by proximity you are more like, because it's math, it's basic math. I know we hate math. I know we hate it, but I passed
Well,
it.
okay.
Unlike y'all.
So let me ask you a question. How does racism contribute to black-on-black crime in Chicago? How is white people to blame for that?
Oh, actually, matter of fact, that's actually a whole other issue. So let's talk about, so you want to talk about intracommunal violence as it pertains to
So what
racism.
does the white man have to do with that?
So, and that's a great thing. I love the red herring that you threw in there.
No, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't try to blame the white population for black crime. For black crime. Don't try to blame Chicago crime in black neighborhoods on white people, bro. I know what you're about to do, but you're dead wrong for this, bro. Areas that have a crazy amount of black crime, a crazy amount of black crime. Not saying that there's not areas in the country that have a crazy amount of white crime. We're not talking about that right now. Areas that have a lot of black crime are not caused by white people. I know what you're going to do. You're going to be like, well, the zoning led to this, and this led to that, and that led to that, and that led to that, and that. Bro, it don't matter, bro. Nah, it's black people's fault in those areas, bro. The same way in other areas, it's white people's fault when they have a lot of crime in some areas. Don't do this, bro. This is bad faith. I already know where this is leading.
Yes, because,
It's a
hey,
question.
intracommunal violence is proximal, right? So, when we have segregation and we got races sitting in one area, and you got another race in another area. Now, we never ask white people, why is white on white crime so high with white people, and but instead we focus on black people.
Yeah, so out of the 530 murders in Chicago of the last year, how many were black on black crime?
Hey, I wasn't looking. But you know what I
Yeah,
do know?
well
But
over
you know, hey,
420 of them were black on black gang related crimes.
Sure.
How is that
Sure.
racism to blame for that?
let's talk. So now, are we going to talk?
And one thing he said was that we never ask white people, because when you're talking about black issues, what sense does it make to bring up white issues? If there's a place on earth or in America that has a lot of white crime, and you're talking about black issues in America, why black people in this country face problems, what sense does it make to bring up these white areas? It doesn't, bro. All I'm saying is it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't do anything. So when you're facing black issues, it's best to try to solve these black issues. If there's an area that has a lot of crime, you can't just blame it on another race. Look at what's really causing this. Don't just blame it on other people or on this. Really look at what's causing it, bro. And I feel like you're not arguing out of good faith. You're not really trying to solve the issue. You're just trying to blame white people. And it's kind of unfortunate because you don't seem like an idiot or nothing. You just seem like you're misled. And if you use your brain to like fight a good fight, and rather than just blaming another race, you probably get a lot done. But here we are.
About over policing?
I'm sorry,
Over-policing.
sir. You're kind of
Would you like to-
demonstrating you can't answer the question.
Would you like to talk about? I mean, we can talk about it. We can.
Okay.
Are you ready to address it, though?
Well-
are you ready to address it? Are you
Yeah.
ready? Because we can talk about black on black crime, but we need to talk about it as it pertains. We need to. Okay, let's talk about it, sis. I'm ready to talk about it.
All right, hold on. So let me just narrow this down. So let me just say this, okay?
All right.
So if you were to rank the 100 biggest problems in America, the fact that I know we're not a racist country is the best example you have.
Okay, so you know we're not a
story of you
racist
getting
country
kicked
based
out of a
on what?
DeSantis rally. If we were a racist country, you'd say, Charlie, I can't go in a convenience store. Charlie, I can't go into school. No, we actually live in such a amazingly decent country that whoa. Let's not do that, okay?
All I did.
You about to fight the people, bro? Like, you about to fight the people? This is crazy. You can't come here and try to fight, bro. America, bro. And I feel like, and I've said this a million times, America is such a good country that we literally have to look for these type of issues. There aren't, the reality is, there aren't any objective things that black people cannot do in this country. Whereas if you look in other places, when people say they're oppressed, they mean that they can't even buy food. They can't leave their caste system because they were born into the wrong family. They have to work 15 hours a day to feed their family. There is no food to buy. iPhones don't exist. Androids don't exist. Computers don't exist. They make $1 a day. That's oppression. That's genuine oppression. But when you talk about this and you say, when I go to a DeSantis rally and I said this right here and he said that right, bro, you sound childish, man. That's not real oppression to me. If I'm being honest, real oppression is when you're born into a caste system and you can't possibly move up. But let's finish this out.
All right.
All I did was you're trying to pull it out.
Mostly peaceful, everybody. Mostly peaceful, okay?
I didn't lay hands on you.
All right.
I got witnesses. I did not touch you. No.
All right.
I touched the mic.
We're going to wrap this one up, but let me just say this.
We got racism we got racism all over the U.S. We just had a race riot 3 years ago.
Okay, so let's
in
talk
2020.
Wait, hold on.
And, oh my God! And then we had all 50 states plus 18 countries. But don't worry, Alex.
Wait, so by race riots you mean mass looting of big screen TVs? Let me tell you. It is not an argument in your favor that we're a racist country because blacks decide to start burning down Wendy's and stealing stuff. That's called criminality.
Actually, it is because you're not even looking as to why it happened. You're not even looking as to why it happened, and that's cool. You know, we can definitely play, obtuse on the whole issue. Yeah, black people were burning it down. Why? Racism.
What? No, they wanted free TVs. Nah, bro. Nah, this not what you're trying to. This not what you finna do, bro. Because when you say stuff like this and other people watch this, they think that this is the black mindset. No, they were not, bro. They were not looting stores based off of their deep-rooted objection towards systemic oppression and nah, bro. They wanted them free TVs. They wanted some new iPhones. Christmas was around the corner, and they hadn't waited by no gifts, and they saw it was a riot outside. Hey, nah, bro. This is not what you're finna do. Nah.
Racism was a big issue, and we can pretend that it's not a big issue, but hey, if you don't want to, then that's just called being obtuse. And that's why I asked you, why did you have such a big problem with talking about racism? You want to claim that it's not there, and you can say all you want, but that still doesn't prove, that still does not.
If you want to talk about racism that can be proven, let me give you some examples of racism that can be proven. How about affirmative action at this college that discriminates against Asian students and white students? How about affirmative action hiring practices in the federal government?
Okay, let's end the video there. This is LFR Jojo. Let me know if y'all have any thoughts about this, your opinions about this. Let me know your thoughts about that young man and on Charlie Kirk. And I will see y'all later.